Hi, greetings, it's me, Dr. Paul Gerhardt, and here's another video to help you as you prepare your speeches and give you things to think about when you're making presentations. So let's get right into it. This video is going to be on using visual aids, and today I'm going to talk about some of the different things that you should consider, like functions and different levels of visual aids, the representation of aids, like graphics, practical rules, demonstrations, experiential presentations, electronic assistance, using an overhead, transparency, graphics, computer technology. So let's get right into it. So functional levels of visual aids include experiential, demonstrational, and representational. So with experiential, one of my favorite things to do, you provide a forum for the audience to directly experience some element of the message. I like to bring props and do activities that helps facilitate a conversation about what people experience. I love using things like visual aids. Perhaps I'm talking about drinking and I'll bring a cup with me. I also have an Indian talking stick that I like to use, but you can use any different type of visual aid as long as it helps add value to the presentation. You must consider the size of your audience, who it is that you're talking to, and of course the location that you are in as far as the physical arrangement. Some things just lend themselves better to different types of props and visual aids. So if you are in an experiential activity, you've got to consider the space. Are you blocked in with chairs and desks that are stationary, or can things be moved around? Is there lots of floor space where you can still maintain control of your audience when you need to? Can you demonstrate things or bring people up on a stage or in an area where other people can demonstrate what's in there? Or should you just use images that help represent what's going on? And I'm a big fan of using PowerPoint presentations with representational graphics on them. Other types of graphics that we consider are graphs and charts. If you're presenting to people where numbers and percentages will help get your message across, definitely use charts. Make sure that when you're using different graphics that you're really thinking about preparing them early. Start early and then create a rough draft. Make sure you're labeling all the significant parts of what people want are going to be looking at, so that you make it easy for people. Make sure that it's easily visible, that things don't get blurry or unclear when you're presenting, and then make sure that you practice with the final version. And it's even better when you can get feedback from other people. Maps are helpful. And if you're talking about something about location, you can point things out here in Washington State or here in California or wherever that you are, or whatever your presentation is about. Sometimes people use pictograms, and pictograms are wonderful, where you have an image and it shows a comparison of something else similar to it so that people can understand. Maybe it's a picture of a blue whale versus a bus, for instance. Bar graphs are really powerful in helping people understand a phenomena about something that's happening or projected to happen. Likewise, line graphs can do the same thing. So you really have to be thinking ahead and figuring out what kind of charts and graphs should I be using. In organizations, sometimes having organizational charts can help give a better understanding of what is taking place and who all is involved. Area diagrams, zoning, interior maps, those kinds of things can be helpful. So pictures are some of the most powerful things that we can bring into a presentation if we use them right. Remember, we have to give the right eye contact to each of our audience members, but also be giving images that help people understand what it is that you're talking about. Remember, give more eye contact to your audience. Generally speaking, don't turn your back to your audience, but don't make people choose between reading what's on a screen versus listening to you, because we really can't multitask very well. Here's some general rules for using representational aids. Make sure that your graphs are well prepared. Make sure that you're displaying them where the audience can see them. Use only what is relevant. Make sure you help orient the audience to what it is that they're looking at. I am a big fan of showing up early and making sure that the display things work properly and are in the proper places. If you're using computer-generated graphics, make sure that you're professional and you're using the right type of image that can help best convey whatever part of the message that you want to use. Make sure the medium that you use helps connect the message to your audience in the most appropriate way. Face your audience. Talk to your audience. Remember, it's all about your audience members' experiences. So you are the facilitator of the message, and you need to control the presentation by being comfortable. You need to prepare for things that can go wrong. In practice, really can help alleviate things where things can go right, and you can work out the kinks. I like to visualize myself presenting and then practicing it and then thinking about what I could do to make things even better. Make sure that you understand who your message is and respect their time. Make sure that you consider dramatic appeal and consider using the right types of images so that people will get a good grasp on your presentations and that it'll be memorable. Make sure that when you're doing experiential presentations that they can be challenging for some people, and think about how you want to get people to make sure they're doing the right things and that they feel comfortable in whatever it is that you're doing with experiential activities. So think things through, ask people for advice and insights before practicing anything. There can be mechanical failure. So if you are using overhead projectors, I know these are kind of getting outdated, but really remember that images speak words. So you have to make sure that you are preparing whatever it is that you are presenting using the right type of medium. If you're going to use transparencies, make sure you print them on a printer that helps make sure that the image is very, very clear, as it's all about how well the audience receives your image. Make sure that you're using stock photography or considering the clip art that you're using, and make sure if there is motion and animation that it doesn't detract from your presentation. So let's review. Visual aids can be used to help make your subject a lot clearer. It helps build interest, and it can reinforce a message if you use them properly. Make sure that you consider how you present things, and do you have the right visual aids in place, and are you using it in a way like experiential that will help people feel comfortable and understand what it is that you're talking about at a deeper and appropriate level. Make sure that you're using the right aids and they're not too abstract, and you've got very clear graphics and pictures and words that help people understand what it is that you're trying to get across, and practice showing and telling in the appropriate way and working out the kinks before you are presenting to your audience. It's all about your audience members' experience. Create a positive experience. Use the right pictures, drawings, charts, maps, diagrams for what it is that you are trying to present. Make sure that you help people participate in an appropriate way. Don't use distracting images, and make sure that you're helping people understand what's on the pictures or charts as you present them. Make sure you're making sure that people are relating to the topic. Keep things simple. Make sure things aren't cluttered. Keep things organized. And make sure you remember what each of your slides or your visuals are all about, and explain them to them as appropriate, but never turn your back to your audience. So respect people's time, respect people's values when you're presenting, and make sure you're using the right images, software, and just be as professional as you possibly can for each of the individual situations. All right, this is just a little short video on YouTube visual aids. I hope this has been helpful to you, and more than that, I hope that you have a great day. Thanks for watching.